Have you ever thought about what's inside these portable or countertop ice makers and how they work? Well, it's actually quite interesting, and in today's video I'm going to show you exactly that. Now, I don't only mean turning the machine on, waiting for ice to form and watching it drop, but we are actually going to have a look inside the machine and look at all the little bits and pieces and how they work together in order to make ice. And I think you'll be quite surprised at how much is actually going on inside these little machines to make ice, and a number of common problems that these machines have. But more about that a little bit later. So in today's video, I'm going to cover the water filling cycle, the freezing cycle, the ice harvesting cycle, the control and sequencing of all of the events, and also the refrigeration system inside the machine and how it actually works. If your machine doesn't look exactly the same as this one, maybe you've got a Frigidaire, an Igloo, a Salon, a GE, a Profile Opal, or maybe a UME. This one specifically is a National Lunar. Not to worry, they all work in basically the same way. Some of them, in fact, are the exact same machine. They've just got a different label on the outside. Also, let us know in the comment section below, what brand of ice maker do you have and how well it's been working for you. So to give you a 30-second overview of how these ice makers work, in case you aren't familiar, you fill the reservoir with water and then you turn the ice maker on and you select the ice size that you want, either large or small. You make that selection and then you walk away and wait for the machine to do its thing. And usually around 6 to 10 minutes later, depending on the outside air temperature, the first lot of ice bullets will have formed on the little silver prongs. They drop off and then they get deposited into the ice basket for you to use. And this cycle continues until the ice fills up, all the water in the reservoir runs out. But how does this entire process actually work? Let's have a look. So what happens is, when the ice maker is turned on for the first time, the little servo motor on the right hand side of the machine, it rotates the ice tray, or it's also sometimes called the ice box. It rotates it down and into position. And then the ice tray stops rotating when it hits a little limit switch on the left side of the machine. Now this also triggers the water pump to start running. And the pump sucks water from the bottom of the reservoir and it pumps it up through the little clear tube on the right side of the machine and then into the ice tray or the ice box. And the water actually runs or pumps for about 50 to 60 seconds before turning off. Now, as you can see, the water in the ice tray covers the silver fingers, and while the freezing cycle is running, these little fingers, they actually freeze up and they cause the water around the little fingers to also freeze, and that's what creates these little ice bullets. Now, I'm not sure if you have noticed this before, but there is a little wire at the water outlet, and that also plays a very important role in this whole process, but I'll explain a little bit more about that later on in the video. So here's a little challenge. Take a guess what this little wire does, and if you think you know, put the answer in the comment section below and we'll see later on in the video if you were correct. Now, after the water pump turns off, the compressor and the fan turn on, and then the freezing cycle begins. Now, during this freezing cycle, both the compressor and the fan should now be running. And refrigerant is being pumped around the system, and it causes ice to form on these little silver fingers. I'm sure you've seen this before. And the freezing cycle continues to run for a certain amount of time, and that can usually vary between 6 to 12 minutes. Now, the length of the freezing cycle does depend on the ice size that you selected when you turn the machine on, but it also, in this machine's specific case, depends on the outside air temperature. The hotter it is outside, the longer the cycle runs for. But on some machines, they sense the temperature inside the reservoir, and the freezing cycle time varies according to the reservoir's temperature. But nevertheless, once the ice has formed and the freezing cycle is complete, the ice harvesting cycle starts. I do realize that I have kind of breezed over what causes these silver fingers to freeze up, but I will explain exactly how that happens very shortly. The start of this ice harvesting cycle can be seen when the ice tray rotates up and it dumps the remaining water that hasn't frozen. And once the ice tray has moved all the way out of the way, it triggers the lower limit switch on the left hand side of the machine, and then the solenoid valve opens and you'll actually hear a distinct click and a hiss sound. And the ice bullets will drop off these little silver fingers. Now at the same time, the fan also turns off, but the compressor continues to run. So what causes the ice to just fall off these little silver fingers? Well, it's actually quite a simple and effective little trick, and I will explain exactly how that happens later on in the video. But take a guess if you think you know how that happens, and leave us a comment in the comment section below, and we'll see if you are correct. Now the ice tray stays in this position, and after about 10 seconds, the solenoid valve closes again, the fan turns on, and the ice tray starts rotating down and back into position to hold the water once again. And while the tray is rotating down, the scoop on the front of the ice tray scoops up the ice and it tips it over and into the ice basket so that it's ready for you to use. Now when this ice tray reaches the top, it again triggers the limit switch just like it did when you first turned on the machine, and then the entire water filling, freezing and the ice harvesting cycle repeats itself. So what controls all of these little events happening? Well, the timing and the sequence of each of these steps is controlled by the main circuit board on the back of the unit. Now this little circuit board uses the little micro switches that we've already seen. It uses those to control or to know the position of the ice tray. It also uses a sensor wire and a little screw to sense when water is being pumped into this tray, and it uses an infrared emitter and a receiver to sense the level of the ice. That's in some machines. In other machines it actually uses a temperature sensor to sense the level of the ice, and of course in some machines it uses a temperature sensor to adjust the length of the freezing cycle, as I previously mentioned. And all of this along with the selection of the large or the small ice bullets that you make when you first turn the machine on, all of this controls and times the sequence of events. So a question that you might have is, how does the ice maker know when the ice is full? Now, I'm not sure if you've seen these little infrared receivers and transmitters on either side of the machine. Some ice makers have them, some of them don't. But for the ice makers that do have them, when the basket is full of ice, the stack of ice breaks the infrared beam between the infrared LED emitter and the infrared receiver, and then the ice full light turns on. Now, instead of the infrared emitter and the receiver, some ice machines actually have a temperature sensor at the top edge of the water reservoir, and when the ice builds up around the sensor, it triggers the ice full light and then the machine stops making ice. Another question hopefully you might have is, how do these ice makers know when the reservoir is empty? Well, the little wire at the water outlet, and there's actually also a little small screw inside the water outlet. Both of these sense the flow of water when it is being pumped into the tray, and if no water is sensed, then the pump actually turns off and the add water light turns on. This normally means that the reservoir is empty and it needs to be topped up with water. However, if the reservoir is full of water, it kind of points towards a common problem with these ice makers, and I do actually have a dedicated video about all of these common problems and how to fix them. So I will leave a link to that video at the end of this video and also down in the description. So if you are interested, go and check that out, and I think you'll find it very, very useful. So what causes these silver fingers to freeze? Inside the machine is a compressor, and it pumps refrigerant around a sealed system. So basically the compressor pumps refrigerant, and then this refrigerant leaves the compressor as a high pressure, high temperature gas. And then that travels through the copper tube and then into the condenser coil. And this is the condenser coil. Now when it passes through the condenser coils, heat is rejected, and as the refrigerant cools down, it changes from a gas to a liquid. And that is why it is very important that the fan on the side of the machine needs to be working so that heat can effectively be removed and dumped from the system. Now, this high pressure, let's say regular temperature liquid, leaves the condenser coils and it actually travels through a filter dryer. And this little thing here is the filter dryer. And that's where any moisture in the system is absorbed. After that, then this liquid refrigerant travels through this thin little tube here, it's called a capillary tube, and then up into the evaporator where the ice is actually formed. And the evaporator in this case is these little silver fingers that we can all see. Now this high pressure liquid refrigerant then expands, and the expansion actually causes its pressure and its temperature to decrease. And as this cold liquid refrigerant travels through the evaporator, remember these silver fingers, it absorbs heat, or it removes heat from the water in the ice tray, and this is what causes the water to freeze. So the refrigerant absorbs the heat as it's traveling through the evaporator so that it can be carried away and dumped later on in the cycle, basically outside the machine. And as this cold liquid refrigerant moves through the evaporator and it absorbs the heat, freezing up and creating ice, it begins to boil and evaporate. And that means that it changes from a liquid to a gas. And then it actually leaves the evaporator or these silver fingers as a warm gas, and then it's sucked back into the compressor where the cycle starts over again. And this is what causes these little silver fingers to freeze up. So heat is removed from the water so it can freeze, and then it's moved further down the system and dumped outside of the machine. What causes the ice to fall off the silver fingers? This valve here is called the hot gas solenoid valve, and when it opens, it actually allows a little bit of hot refrigerant gas to pass up and into the silver fingers that previously were freezing. And this heats these little silver fingers up, and it heats them up enough to melt the ice, and then gravity takes over and causes the ice to fall off. And it's just as simple and effective as that. So now that you know exactly how all of the components inside these ice makers work together to form ice, it might make it a little bit easier for you to spot when something is going to fail. Now, if your ice maker is giving you problems, maybe it's not making ice anymore, or it's some other type of problem, you can go ahead and watch this video right here, where I'll show you how to fix all the common problems. If you like the video, please hit that thumbs up button, and if you would like to support the channel, I will leave links in the description to a couple of the spare parts to fix these machines, and also the tools that I like to use. Or if maybe you don't want to fix your machine, or you just want to pick up a new machine for the upcoming summer, I'll also try and leave some links in the description. And thank you very much for the support. Anyway, we'll see you in the next video. Cheers.